Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Chapter 3, The Gilded Letters of Scribes and Scrolls, The Candlekeep Mysteries. This is Book 1, The Joy of Extradimensional Spaces. And this is our new regular epic D&D campaign happening every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain. And welcome back. It's been a couple weeks. We took a week off last Monday for a variety of reasons. That happens sometimes. But we're here now, and that's what matters. In just a couple of moments, we are going to get rocking and rolling with this adventure, picking up where we left off. I do want to do a couple of super quick announcements. First of all, I want to draw your attention down to the bottom of the screen. We got a couple of logos there. Talon and Claw is, of course, Mini Terrain Domain's sponsor. Talon and Claw, you can type !MTD Claw in the chat. And there will be a link to the Talon and Claw Etsy shop where you can get yourself some excellent accessories like dice vaults, dice trays, DM screens. They just had an epic gemstone dice Kickstarter that was a phenomenal success. And if Anthony's tweets are to be any indication of what the future holds, there will be gaming tables sometime in the future. I know Dwight's long been keeping his eye on those tweets. So be sure to check out Talon and Claw, all the wonderful stuff they put out. And while you're there, use code MTDClaw at checkout and get 10% off your purchase while helping the channel. Also, you can type !RWP to get a link to our good friend Keel's wonderful zine site, his Patreon. Run Right Play is all about community, creativity, and fun through tabletop products, freelance services, and a collaborative community. Their mission is to inspire and empower creators of all kinds. Keel is absolutely awesome, and you can catch him on Thursday nights with Dwight and Lloyd and Petra over on International House of Minis on Big Bearded Nerd. So yeah, check out Keel. It's a wonderful collaborative thing, and we are excited to be partnering up with Keel for that. Of course, as always, we have our links for Jasper's Game Day, Initiative Coffee Company, and everything are still in the chat. !Jaspers or !Coffee. There's also down below the stream, you will find some tiles for those. I'm going to talk about domain dice, or what we call domain tomes, in this game real quick. If you look up above where Ricky would be, and is magically appearing as I talk about him, up above his head, you'll see a +10 and a domain tome. Those are a way that you, the audience, can have an influence on the game. For example, Tomiko just subscribed resubscribed for 1 month, continuing their 29-month sub. Thank you, Tomiko. This is what happens when you do that. Magically, a domain tome appears, and they can use those. These are a little bit different than we've run domain dice in the past. They can use 1 domain tome to gain advantage on any dice roll. They can use 3 domain tomes to re-roll, or they can spend 5 of them to make me re-roll one of my dice rolls. And sometime coming in the future, I'm still working on them, just about got them figured out. DM domain tomes will be coming. All right, last thing I want to talk about real quick before we start playing is, of course, our advocacy for mental health. That is what we've put our flagpole in here. We are strong believers in the open discussion about mental health. I have been very open about my own struggles with anxiety and depression, and it took me a while, but a little over a year ago, about a year and a half now, I sought the help of a therapist, and my life has changed because of it. So I highly encourage you to do the same as well. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to struggle. You need to know that, but you also need to know that you matter and that you don't need to struggle alone. There is help available for you out there. That is why you can come here any time of day or night, whether we're streaming or not, and you simply type in !help in the chat, as I'm sure somebody's about to do. Jordan, thank you. And there is this wonderful new site that is available called findahelpline.com. You put in your location anywhere in the world, country, province, city, state, etc., and a variety of mental health service links will be available for you. And if you are in a position where you need to be a little careful about your privacy, or somebody seeing what you're doing, there is a get out quick escape button at the top that will take you to a weather site instantly. So please, if you need help, use this resource. It'll also appear frequently at the bottom of the screen, and occasionally will show up in our chat, because we care about you, and this is why we've provided this for you. The link to the site, I didn't make the site, I want to be clear about that, so with that, I think it's time to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Woohoo!
All right, so our 5 intrepid adventurers have all been brought together, each individually seeking something at the great library of Candlekeep. When they all brought their own unique special books or works to the library, they were admitted in, and then they were what are you guys yelling at me about?
You have Jordan and Ricky in the wrong windows.
Oh my gosh, just use your words.
We did a long time ago.
Somebody was talking.
We've been messaging.
Yeah, I sent messages through.
Oh, I'm like getting distracted over here. My phone's going off. I'm seeing all capitals. Cari's trying to hold her face together.
Sorry, I was trying not to interrupt.
I built a campfire out there for smoke signals. I did it all.
Did somebody's camera go off? I had you guys right at one point.
Nope, I think it was when.
No, you know what? I never had you guys right.
Nope.
Hold on.
You know what? You could have easily blamed me, and I would have took it. Like, yeah, I probably did something.
No.
Welcome to Scribes and Scrolls, everyone.
Yep.
Behind the scenes.
We do this semi-professionally.
Yep. Pro streamer.
Okay, it's not letting me move them. 1 second. All right, Ricky, you can go down here. We'll switch you two around.
It's like one of those slide puzzles.
Then these two go here. Nope. What is going? I had you guys.
You're so close.
See,
you're so close.
He's only been doing this for like what, 3-4 years now.
It's a Rubik's Cube.
I've been resting in my laurels, apparently.
Nailed it. Don't touch a thing. Don't breathe wrong.
Yes.
You did it.
And now.
All right. I think I've got the approval of my players to continue on.
Hey, if we would have walked through a portal and I have to play as her character, I would have been fine with it.
Right? That's how we find out about that dynamic.
All right.
That'll be the moment that Cari actually asks for all the backstory stuff, and I'm like, oh, well, you know.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
I don't know.
Picking up where we left off. These adventurers had gained admittance to Candlekeep. They were chilling out at the hearth, in the court of open air, where they had met the ogre little one who was talking to them, and was beginning to get worried that his friend Matreus hadn't showed up. Around that time is when Irony, the young tiefling, showed up and said, hey, Matreus is missing, and I have an idea. All of you, come with me. And they left, heading across the court of open air following Epiphany to the Pillars of Pedagogy, where they were led to a particular study room, and upon investigation discovered a secret word inscribed in a book that opened a portal in this very room. Going through the portal, they found themselves in a Mordenkainen's magical, magnificent mansion created by the wizard Festandia. They found Matreus almost immediately, who said, hey, thanks. I've been trying to open this portal for quite a while now. You did it, or I did it. This place is awesome. Hey, check it out. I found this figurine of an imp. It's kind of cool. I'm going to take it back and study it. I'll pay you if you stay here for a little bit and take a look and see what you can find. And then he left. Right before the doors closed, they heard a scream. Assyria tried to open the doors and was greeted by the swirling purple miasma that surrounds the magical mansion, and immediately shut the door, the portal appearing to no longer be active. They began to investigate, and in typical Dungeons and Dragons fashion, immediately did a 3-party split. Went into 3 completely different rooms.
Technically, they left
one.
me.
Don't split the party, but if you have to, split it 3 ways.
Yes.
3 ways.
So Mizya, with Doc staying behind to help, began checking out the study, looking at all the books, managed to find a secret, a book that activated a secret passageway. Teera and Vornuk found the exercise room and began to spar with
Let's get down to business.
with Teera
This
all but knocking Vorn out, while a broom magically swept the floor nearby. Assyria and Soren, her wolf, went into a library and found a bunch of books laying around, including one with a gilded letter on it. I believe it was the letter R. Upon picking up that book, was immediately attacked by all the other books in the library. Vorn came to the rescue, throwing a torch in the library, as one does, apparently defeating it. Teera defeated the broom that was attacking her.
It
Meanwhile,
almost swept the
Mizya...
floor with her.
I think I just took necrotic damage.
And hey, in this house, we like puns. I don't have
Yes, we do.
I don't have my. I prefer my puns intended coffee mug here right now. I should have
Big
had
shout out to Norris by Nature. I feel like he is leading the pun contest in the chat already.
it.
Buddy
Excellent,
mine.
excellent. Anyway, everybody eventually regrouped. A little bit of healing was done. They entered into the next doorway, finding a kitchen, where they were immediately beset upon, in a friendly fashion, by 2 peculiar characters. And that's where we're going to pick up, as these 2 small forms come flying down out of the high areas of the kitchen, and they land on a nearby table. They bow low before you and immediately look up at all of you and say, "How can we be of help to our honored guests? Cooking, cleaning, mending your clothes, perhaps? Are you hungry? You look a bit peckish. Is there something I can prepare for you?"
I am stunned to silence by these things.
These creatures are, they look sort of like, they have some sort of bat-like qualities. They're about 2.5 feet tall. They have bat-like wings, a little bit pudgy, so they kind of look like if you crossed a cherub and a bat. And they are super friendly. This kitchen, in
Insight
fact,
check.
smells of a variety of foods in the process of being cooked. You can actually see into this room, just past where these creatures are. You can see that it's a pretty typical looking kitchen, but just across from the door on the floor is catches your eye are some brightly colored ceramic bowls that are painted with stylized cats and little cat's paws on them, and they're filled with water and kitchen scraps. You've already seen one of the house cats in the one of the rooms.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So right away, like Vorn realizes that he hasn't eaten in about 12 to 16 hours, maybe even a day. How long have we been in this room since we've left? And my stomach starts to kind of do a feed me. And
Oh dear!
yeah.
Oh dear! I can tell that you're hungry. Please. Oh, our manners are manners. Hello, I am cumin, and I am coriander.
Oh my.
We are here at your service. It does sound very much like you would like to eat. Can I'll tell you what. we'll lead you into the dining area. You'll have a seat, and we will bring you out several wonderful dishes.
Oh.
Would that be to your liking?
My stomach just is like roaring, like. I'm like, yeah, cumin. That's how you say it, cumin. I look over at Teera, like, cumin. Huh?
I
Didn't
do
know
not
how those.
trust- I want to insight check both of these little dudes. I do not trust this situation at all.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Buck almost killed this area. Do you think she's really gonna
Yeah.
trust?
I got a 13.
And
Okay.
I got. Let's see, insight. I got a 14, so not much better.
I mean, you can smell actual food cooking. It is a kitchen. You see what appears to be several different dishes in the progress of being made. The look in their eyes, though they do have this slightly bat-like appearance about them, they have these very large, almost cartoonish, I mean, for their faces, picture Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh,
I mean, they are...
Never mind. I trust them completely. I go with Vorn.
Yeah, they've given you no reason to distrust them. They say, no, please, allow us to show you to the dining area. And one of them kind of flits over to another counter in the kitchen, over by a door in the room that's on the east wall. Bring up our map screen so you have a little bit of reference. And I have added the "You are here" arrow.
Thank you.
So you are currently here in the kitchen, and they are indicating a door over here that leads to the dining room.
Okay.
So they begin to beckon you. One of them stands near the door where you all were. The other one's standing over by the other door, indicating it. Does everybody follow?
I turn over my shoulder and I make sure I say, Doc, come on with us. And I just make sure Doc is following us because he's still in
I'm kind of
Ella enchanted mode.
Me?
Yeah, Doc, you were Doc last time I checked. Come with us and get some food.
Okay. Doc will follow the rest of them.
Oh God, I love that so much. If anything bad happens to Doc, I am going to quit this campaign, and I'm going to say that now.
So,
Just-
how is the table set up? Because I want to take the chair that I can see the entrance and kind of guard my back.
Okay.
Like, what's the
Yep.
most?
Yep. Hold. Let me give you a description of this dining area. So as you enter this area, you're coming in from the door on the west wall of the dining area from the kitchen. So you immediately see that on the east wall that there are large windows forming the entirety of that wall, looking out on 3 planted beds that are filled with a variety of vegetation. This entire room has a sort of violet hue to it because you can see that this sort of garden area that is out beyond this room is an enclosed, glassed-in atrium-style garden. Through all the windows, you just see that miasma's light sort of filtering in. Within this room, there is a massive crystal chandelier, creating these sort of violet sparkles around the room as it catches the light of the miasma. The chandelier hangs directly above the table. This table is a long, dark wood table, appears to be made of solid oak, intricately carved. There are 6 matching wooden chairs with scarlet cushions, both on the back and on the seat. They have that same rich, dark wood. They surround the table, and there is a 7th chair up in the upper northwest corner of the room. The 2 entrances to this room are the one on the west wall that you're coming through, and there is another door on the south wall. So where would you want to position yourself then, Vorn?
I'm thinking at the furthest corner, not at the head of the seat, but right around. I'm looking at your map, right? on the right. Yep, right there. Yep, exactly. That's exactly where I was sitting.
So, okay. Perfect.
And I am wondering to myself, like, if we're in a strange in-between world dimensions, where are they getting this food? But my stomach is really overriding my logical centers. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, whatever food's placed in front of me,
So,
I'm going to be inclined to eat it.
Vorn moves in and immediately positions himself in that upper right chair. Where's everybody else going to sit then in relation to Vorn?
Mizya just slide their way into the room and plops down at the head of the table next to Vorn.
Okay.
That northern.
Right, your volume is a little bit on the low side.
I was just about to type the same
Volume is
thing.
low.
Yeah, it was a little hard to hear you.
Is it still? Because
There you go.
I think I may have
That's
just
better.
moved away from my mic. So
All right. So Mizya's taken the head of the table on the north side of the table.
I sit next to Vorn, southeast chair.
Okay.
Not the head.
Dot. Can't hear you, Doc.
Son of a. Who's not?
Weird. This is
Who's
enchanted.
who's not seated?
Sarah has not seated.
Doc is going to take a long, slow look at Asaria.
It's okay, Doc. You can go sit.
You can go first. I'll sit wherever you don't want to.
Oh.
I think Teera saved you a seat, though, so why don't you sit down first and then I'll join you.
Oh.
I gotta make sure Soren's alright anyway.
I cartoonishly pat the spot at the other head of the table.
Okay. Doc will seeing Teera pat. Doc will wander over and he will gently pull the chair out and he will try to unobtrusively slide his gargantuan form between the chair and the table as delicately as possible. And he'll pick up the chair so it doesn't scrape the floor. And then he'll try and do that so it doesn't disturb anyone.
All right. Asaria?
After Doc sits down, then Asaria will join nearby, whatever chair is left available.
Both on the left side.
All right, she'll grab the upper left if that one's available.
All right. Would you allow Soren to sit on furniture? Or would he stay at your feet?
No, knowing Soren, he would probably sit on a chair.
Because there is an extra chair.
Yes, he's gonna sit on the other chair.
All right. Dwight, roll me a d6 for no reason.
Oh no. If not, he'll just sit and honestly in her lap. He's one of those dogs that's very big and thinks
Huge.
that
That's a
thinks
one.
he's a lap dog.
Ooh.
Okay.
Power one.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Uh-oh.
So you all take a few moments as you're kind of scooting around. And just as Asaria finally sits down and Soren disappears under the table for a moment and kind of pushes up into that last vacant chair and kind of seats himself, immediately both cumin and coriander begin flitting into the room. They begin placing down serviceware for all of you, brilliantly almost white silver forks and knives and spoons, and there's at least 3 of each one serving a purpose, who knows what for. They bring out a couple different glasses. One of them comes out with a water pitcher and begins pouring water. Another one comes out and pours a they poured 2 different wines into 2 different wine glasses, a red and a white.
Wow.
And as they do so,
I gulped them down immediately, both glasses.
both glasses of wine.
Yeah. It's just
Okay.
as soon as both of them are filled, I gulped them right both
Make
of
me
them
a
back down.
Constitution saving throw real quick.
Oh no.
You just downed 2 glasses of wine on an
I
empty
remember
stomach.
my first double glass of wine.
Yep. Oh,
Right?
boy.
Well, I am. There we go. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
There we go.
What'd you get?
Power 4.
All right.
He smashed.
That wine goes
I'm
right to your head.
I'm dehydrated. I was fighting.
I'm not
I
gonna.
was setting things on
I'm not
fire.
gonna. It's not gonna mechanically right now. It's not gonna cause anything. You're just a bit lightheaded. You're definitely feeling pretty good from this wine. It's great tasting wine.
Oh, it's delicious. Did they fill it back up again?
Not immediately.
Okay.
They
I need bumpers. That's a good idea, Jake.
I kind of look over at Asaria and I'm just kind of like,
You're gonna sip yours?
I
Please.
sip mine. Yeah, I'm. This is an
Teera.
advantage.
Teera,
Yes.
roll me a d8.
Oh, okay. Why? 5.
Immediately the smell of fish
Oh. Yum.
meets your senses as coriander and cumin come in, each of them carrying 3 dishes, and they place down these plates full of a dried fried fish and a slightly almost musty smelling bread, not moldy, mind you, musty, as they declare, the first course is of course miasma fish, dried and fried, and mustard bread sandwiches. It is a wonderful recipe made from the mushrooms grown here in our own cellar. Please do enjoy. More wine?
I'm like, I kind of point down to both of the glasses. Like, what is the red and the white? Yes, both.
Wonderful. One of them disappears and momentarily returns and tops off your wine glasses. And then they disappear into the kitchen. So you have your first course before you.
Okay.
This miasma fish.
So Tira's had a lot of fresh caught fish in her life. Is there can I like investigate this to see if it's weird?
Yeah.
Can I don't trust them. I don't
The fact
trust
it's called
them.
miasma fish. It's like,
Yes,
okay.
that was it.
Mm-hmm.
As Teera is investigating the fish, Doc is going to pull out a little sprig of wire, and he's gonna spark it, and he's lightly gonna tap her on the shoulder.
Yeah, Doc, what do you need?
No, it's what you need. You can take
What?
guidance.
All
right.
That will be helpful.
That's a D4.
Yes, plus D4.
So, yep, go ahead. And as I just pictured Teera lifting up the bread, looking at the fish, and
Yeah.
holding up a
it's-
piece of the bread, go ahead and make an investigation check.
I did. It's a 6 total.
Oh.
It was bad. Thank
I mean,
you for the guidance.
It looks like fried fish.
Okay.
The bread
and-
feels like bread. It's a little bit spongy, like fresh made
Ooh,
bread.
Fresh bread.
That musty odor could be attributed to the fact that it apparently is made from mushrooms.
Okay. Okay.
I kind of raised my hand at cumin and coriander,
Coriander, like the
and
spice.
coriander. Thank you, jeez, old Pete's. I asked, so where are these fish from? And I'm going to roll perception, if that's okay, while I ask the question, because I want to see what they're saying.
That would be insight if you're trying to discern what
Insight.
they're saying.
I do want to. Okay.
So you're asking one of the. Actually, I would like anyone who is trained in Arcana, specifically, to make me an Arcana check.
I rolled a 1.
13.
Never mind. I have no idea what Arcana
We were all
is.
so hungry.
Who else did the check?
Let's
I
see
have
an
a third-
Arcana.
I had a 13.
Is that like some kind of lasagna?
Mizya, as everybody's kind of questioning their food or drinking their wine down, you've had these two pegged from the moment you saw them. Though it's a bit outside of your abilities right now, you've definitely read about wizards creating servants called homunculi. They're usually created from clay and an arcane ritual. These are 2 different homunculi, but you also know one other thing. A wizard can only ever have 1 homunculi.
Oh, oh boy.
Okay.
And Vorn, you're asking about where the fish came from.
Yes.
Yes.
Roll to power 4.
The miasma fish, this is actually fresh caught a few days ago. We have to very cautiously step out onto the patio, and we cast our nets into the miasma, and they gesture out towards the purple out beyond the windows.
I look over at Miasma. If I'm remembering their name right. Miasma, maybe? Okay. I'm just making eye contact because they're at the head of the table. Mizya, thank you.
There you go.
Close.
And
It's close.
oh no, my internal dialogue is it am I talking out loud? And I look over at Teera, I'm like, oh, and I realize I've been speaking out loud the whole time. And I look over.
Cut it off. Cut it off.
It's only 2. I can typically do.
Cut yourself off. You're dehydrated. You can't fight.
Doc, roll me a D8.
I look over.
3.
Wow.
For our next course, and they begin bringing in bowls for all of you on platters and placing them down, and they sort of flit around. It's not at all unlike, though there is no music to accompany it, like the hot chocolate song on Polar Express, as they begin flitting around and just depositing these bowls of soup. The next course is cream of sourroot soup with a tomato seed bun.
God.
Doc is going to be as furtively as he can. He's going to be sort of looking at everybody else and like how they're holding their spoon and like
This guy's got a spoon.
And there are probably very different ways of holding a spoon here. Teera is doing the knuckles on top shovel style. Mizya is very likely very proper. Am I wrong? Are they very proper?
Mizya, is there a full silver service at this table?
Pretty much, yeah. There's like
Okay,
3
so-
forks, 3 spoons, a couple of knives, a butter knife.
Mizya is outside in, one service at a time. Mizya is probably also looking up at Doc and just kind of gesturing with their silverware, just trying to like gentle instructions on how.
So Doc he'll take a spoon. He didn't eat any of the fish, but he'll take a scoop of this, and he'll try and put it in his mouth, and it sort of like dribbles down his chin as he puts it in.
Oh. That's Bob.
I would like to point out that Gary had no idea that I was serving soup, yet he has a spoon.
Yeah. No. This is He's magic.
Gary's next level.
He's a witch.
The master.
She is kind of sitting back. During the fish course, she was kind of using her fingers. But with the soup, she's kind of pulled the bowl up almost like it's a bit of tea, and she just kind of sips every so often. She's just kind of looking around at the group, and she's got a little bit of a slight smile on her face.
Oh.
She looks nervous, but a little almost hopeful, and especially seeing the behavior of Doc.
Oh my God.
Just kind of
Syria,
watching it. Yes.
roll me a perception check with advantage for Soren.
Okay. Let's throw on dice. There's Soren dice.
Soren smells something.
Yes.
Smells bacon. All right, let me pull up his.
And evil.
Evil.
Bacon and evil.
You said perception, correct?
Yes, it's a BLE sandwich, a bacon, lettuce, and
Ooh,
evil.
Yes.
Evil.
24.
A 24?
Oh, spectacular.
He's got +5 for perception.
Yeah, as the food is placed before Soren, Soren just sort of, and then just does that thing where dogs sort of turn their head on its side on the side and just sort of, and is eagerly eating up the miasma fish and bread, the sandwiches, and then when the soup's brought in, same thing, takes a sniff of it and just goes for it. Soren seems to, whether or not he has the ability to detect, anything untoward, he at least detects flavorful food and is eagerly devouring it. Is everybody else eating? Is anybody not eating besides Doc?
Well, after seeing Soren do it, I kind of trust. I look over at Teera, I look over at Mizya, I look over at Asira. Are they all eating?
I'm eating.
Yeah.
Sipping her soup and just kind of watching the group.
I'm trying to be civilized, but I'm like the Cookie Monster as I am shoveling fish and wine. And I'm just.
I see this shot of Mizya at the head of the table, delicately picking up the proper spoon and just always, dipping in and moving away, bringing
Mizya
it up.
would not hold the spoon like that, Jake.
You can't. However, and then the camera's slowly panning away, and we see Doc spilling soup down his front. Well, Doc would be at the other end. We see Assyria holding the bowl. Vorn is
And asking for more wine.
Teera's eating eagerly.
I'm wiping the bowl with my bread and eating that.
Soren and Vorn are like almost mirror images of each other, opposite each other on the table as they're like, and then there's Doc just sort of with a dribble of soup down his front, attempting. It's entirely up to you to what degree you enjoy this food. It's all tasty. You've all seen the garden through the windows, so it's a safe assumption that for the most part, it looks like any of the vegetables have been growing out there. Everything tastes hearty. And I will say during this, a couple things. One, you will all get the benefits of a short rest while you are participating in this. And I will let you roll an additional D6 as you are satiated by the food that is placed before you for
D6
healing.
for HP. Nice.
Yep, you can roll a D6, gain that much extra HP. You can also spend hit dice if you choose to do so. While you're eating, the two homunculi there's on either side of the door, there is, as you look at the door to the kitchen to the left, there's a little sideboard there, and they've just sort of flitted there, and they're standing almost at attention, occasionally leaning over and whispering to one another, and just with the biggest grins on their face that you are enjoying the food. They do occasionally flit about to refill water or wine as requested. As a final cap off, they bring out these delightful little almost like cookies, but they're thick. They're almost 2 inches thick, and they're topped with cherries, and they have a sugary glaze drizzled over them. And as they're placed before you, each one of you gets 3 of these on a small plate, on a small platter, as they announce, "Dessert is sweetened ground bitterseed buttons topped with cherries."
I lean to Vorn at this point, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell any of that is.
And I say it's delicious. It's human. It's delicious. Just take a bite. And I'm like kind of.
I do. I
I'm
pop
Cookie
one in.
Monster.
I pop one in my mouth all the way. I'm like,
Mizya, would you like my cookies? I'm allergic to cherries.
What?
I think as you offer that to Mizya, you notice that Mizya has taken a bite of every course, and then pushes it all aside.
Did I mean do that?
No,
Sorry.
no, thank you, dear.
Alright.
I
Fair. Teera, Vorn.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can have Soren's too, because he can't have them either.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna take one and put it in my back
Doc,
for
are
later.
you alright?
Oh.
It went in my mouth.
Oh. Oh.
Mizya, one of the homunculi sort of flits over, and you're at the head of the table on the north end, and so there's that extra chair that's sort of nearby you, and they just sort of flit over, and they're standing on the arm of that chair. Pardon me. Was everything satisfactory?
It provided sustenance as needed. Yes.
Excellent. Is there any other way that we may be of service while you are here visiting with us?
Well, I do have a question.
Oh, yes. I love answering questions. Please, please.
Where is your master?
Our masters left a long time ago. And you see the wings just sort of droop a little bit.
Oh.
But we're certain they'll return eventually. And sort of looks over at the other one who's looking back at them and just says, yes, eventually.
Who were your masters?
My master, I'm Cumin, the one you're speaking to. I
Thank you
am
for the
Cumin.
clarification, Cumin.
I was created by Fistandia. And then across the room, Coriander says, and I, Coriander, was created by Freyot.
And you know not when they will return.
We do not know. Often they would disappear for quite some time. Occasionally we would go with them. But they left us here to tend to the mansion, telling us that it had become a permanent fixture, and that we were to tend to the cats and to the books, though we were warned, do not touch any books with single letters on them.
Have you seen any of these books?
There's been a couple that we've seen. We don't go into all of the rooms. Some of the rooms we are not allowed into, but Fistandia and Freyot would often venture throughout the mansion. There are floors up above and the cellar down below. Fistandia used to go into the planetarium and disappear for a long time afterwards. There's lots of books in the library, although I believe that one of our masters may have left an unseen servant in there because something keeps stacking books. I've given up on trying to keep them organized. If you do go into the arboretum, and they indicate the window wall, do be careful of the fairy dragons. They're mostly harmless, but they are quite mischievous. Just be aware of them. Just try to stay out of their way. And should I? Yes. See, tell them. They seem so that. Okay. Not long before the last time we saw our masters, Fistandia summoned an imp. But we have not seen that imp in quite some time. The mischievous little bugger, much worse than the fairy dragons. But I've not seen it. So do keep your eye out for that as well.
Yes, yes. Well,
And
thank you.
if you see the cats, they're just cats. Pay them no mind. We feed them. They may tell you that they're hungry. I assure you they are not.
I know
Typical.
that feeling. Yep.
Well, I thank you for your service this evening and for answering my questions.
Please do let us know if you're hungry at any other time. We have plenty more foods available.
Yes. Run along.
Yes. And Cumin bows to you, and Coriander bows as well. And they leave the dining area and go back into the kitchen, leaving you all to yourselves.
Don't you think it's a bit strange that we have at least a little bit more of an idea of what this place is versus who we all are?
You mean like we don't know each other very well? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Doc, I think you might be in a spell. I can't hear you.
It's a weird enchantment, Doc. It
Stop
happens.
chewing the bowl. That's a bowl.
I said it doesn't seem weird to me.
Oh. It wouldn't. Oh God. Like, yeah, I guess. Well, shall we share? How about you start this area? What do you want? What do you want to share with the group here? And at this point, there is nothing but wine left in front of Teera, and Tira's just kind of like drinking.
I'm learning to become a ranger. I've got Soren here, and I'm from outside of Daggerford. A small village. That's pretty much it for me. I've been living in the wild.
How long have you had Soren? Did you find him when he was a puppy?
You could say he found me. And yes, I've had him since he was a pup. Runt of the litter, I think, is the terminology. He's a good boy. And probably at this point, Soren's passed out on the table, like, belly up.
Just groaning, happy
Oh,
boy.
happy, yeah. Yeah. We keep to the woods mostly, so being in a place like this with lots of people is a little bit different. But what about you?
Me?
Yeah. And at this point, Sarah's gonna finally have some wine. She's been.
I guess that's fair. I'm Teera. Came from the Kingdom of Many Arrows. That's where I was before this. I've been coming this way to find somebody. Before this, I actually lived with a tribe of orcs up north there. And that's where I got all of these. And I just kind of like gesture at my arms where like there are my scars and my brand and all that stuff. And I just kind of shrug and I'm like, yeah, planning on going back there someday, but I don't really know when. So, ever forward.
That mark, what is it? It's a brand or?
It's my tribe. We all have them on this and so yeah, we were the roving wolves, so that was our mark, and we all get it when we're 16. So that's when I got mine.
Nice.
It wasn't nice at the time. I needed a lot more of this.
Kind of imagine. She's looking at the scars. You can kind of imagine, but
they all mean something, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Anyway, Vorn, you can tell everybody all about orcs, can't you? And I kind of like whap Vorn in the chest.
And as I'm whacked, I was hoping that she would like bring attention to me because I was kind of looking away to hide the mark that's on my forehead.
Teera did not notice.
And I'm like, and as I kind of look back at the group and I go, and as I begin to speak, I kind of burp because I realize that I've been drinking and eating a lot. And Pardon me, where are my manners? After all, I'm only half an orc. Yeah. So, you know, I came to the library. I'm looking for books about our true heritage. The wine is kicking in, and I'm kind of looking around like, yeah. So that's me, and I kind of don't want to bring attention to the mark on my forehead. And I'm like, Mizya, she's probably way more interesting than I am.
What are you
Vorn,
hiding?
Vorn, make me another Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. And your attempts have definitely caught Asaria's
But
attention.
yeah,
She knows.
100% same.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think I saw your mark before.
Yeah,
So
you did.
I wouldn't say anything about it, but I see him trying to.
Yeah, Asaria. I mean, it's pretty obvious he's trying to hide something.
19 and 2 is 21.
You're holding your alcohol really well. The food helped.
Mhm. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
A lot of bread. A lot of bread.
I
A lot
am
of carbs.
I am an orc after all, and you know, this kind of thing is natural to me. Yeah. So yeah. So this. Are you guys looking at my forehead here?
Yeah, I mean, you keep rubbing it, so it's kind of.
Yeah, that kind of
Headaches?
means I'm kicked out of my clan, if you will. Long story
Oh.
short, you know, because I wouldn't kill my mother with a blood axe. So, and I kind of sit back and fold my arms, and I was like, and then I put these goggles on. I don't want to talk about it.
Teera is like taking a long drink of wine. Like, Doc. Doc has his hand up. Everybody. Doc has a
Oh.
question.
Yeah.
Oh, Vornuk, I just wanted to let you know that I didn't notice it until you pointed it out.
Well, thank you, Doc. I appreciate that. It some people notice it, some people don't, and I consider you one of the good ones. So thank you.
Eric gets
Yeah.
a weird look on her face. Like, what?
And as Teera looks across the table at Assyria and is like, "Way to go." Nice.
And my glasses, these glasses right here are just to hide my eyes because I don't want to show that they're welling up with tears for everything that I've been. So I'm just kind of hiding them. Like I'm being tough.
I kind of, when nobody's looking, I sort of like reach over and I punch Vorn on the elbow, just like lightly.
Yeah, we'll talk later. I kind of say that, but Mizya, she has powers, and Doc, you're more than interesting. What about you, bud?
Yeah, Doc, how did you get to be the way you are?
Oh, well, I'm afraid you already know everything there is to know about me. Wait, no, that's not true. You don't know that I dislike soup.
You are kidding me, bro. You are kidding me. Well,
Getting
don't
those
like
early
soup.
grand revelations.
what? That is quite the confession, Doc. You don't like soup?
Yeah, it touched my mouth and I went,
I saw you didn't like that soup. I didn't know it was all soups.
I don't know. Aren't all soups the same?
Oh.
No way.
No.
I'll make you
no.
listen. I'm gonna make you a stew one of these days that the elders taught me how to make. It will knock your socks off. It will change your opinion on soup. It's good. You have to listen. If we're gonna be friends, you gotta do me some favors. Do me this favor. Try my soup.
I'm sure you
Hey-
can ask all the questions you want about the stew as well as what's
Hey-
in it.
Hey, Doc. Quick question, bud. I noticed you showed up with you know, I wasn't being nosy or anything, but I saw a piece of paper, drawing on it.
Mhm.
What's
It's-
that about?
It said DADY on it.
You know what that spells? Yeah.
What
Huh.
what would you like to know?
I kind of look at the group. I'm kind of trying to read the table. Like,
Sarah's not meeting eye contact because literally she feels bad for making the comment earlier. So you look at her, she's like, as you like look
All right.
over at her, she's not engaging.
Are you a dad, Doc?
No. Maybe? I don't know. I don't think so. But I could be wrong.
Has Doc eaten any of his food at all?
Apparently, he ate the soup.
He tried the soup.
He tried to eat the soup. He was putting the soup in his mouth, but basically he put the soup in his mouth and it just basically all dribbled down his face and onto his clothes. You can't really say how much actually entered his body beyond what he's wearing.
I nudged Teera and I'm kind of like pointing at the dishes like, hey, I'm kind of like implying that he hasn't eaten. And
does
not
Teera know
normal.
anything about Reborn? Like, would she know him, like what he is?
I would say you could roll me a history check.
Okay. I don't know anything about Reborn. So I'm like, maybe he wasn't hungry. Don't be mean to him, Vaughn. Maybe he has to keep his girlish figure.
perhaps. And I look over at Mizya and I'm like, Mizya!
Mizya, it has kind of sat back in the chair and it has a book out. They look up. Oh, we're doing that thing, aren't we? Where we go around the table and talk about ourselves. Very well. I am Mizya Helviar, once renowned scholar from Citadel Zolaran in the Underdark. I spent many, many years as the advisor to Cari Zolaran. Bitch tossed me out on my ass. Spent many, many years at the Library of Silvery Moon, studying. Knowledge is power, as they say. Many, many years alone. Well, now I'm here with you.
Something book related that spurs your interest, or
All of it.
I look over and I'm like, I'm not gonna say that Mizya is the life of the party, but probably the life of the party.
Teera is just kind of snickering and again kind of has no use for all this book learning, and just sort of as Mizya says all of it, and it's just like kind of rolls her eyes.
All of it? That sounds like a lot.
there has to be a favorite or least favorite.
I don't understand. Knowledge is what I seek, and if there is something that I do not know, then that is what I seek, and that is my favorite.
You see, Sarah was like going to like attempt to explain something. Never mind.
So
Yeah, like Vorn attempts to explain, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm too drunk. This wine is way too potent." And he's like, "There's a planet where orcs come from, where they have machine that has."
And at this
ghosts
point, Teera reaches over and he's pointing, and she just like puts her hand on his hands, like shh, shh, shh,
but they
shh,
have like these machines, and they're so tall, and they have these.
Maybe we should find a place to rest, like a nice long rest, before we explore the garden or anything else. I'll keep watch. At least I'm sober.
I'll
Hey.
keep... It's best if we probably take it in twos. I'll stay up with you.
Okay. Yeah? Does that
Who
sound
wants-
good to everybody?
Who
Is
wants
it
to
democracy?
take second watch?
That's how I will take second watch.
You drunk. You should probably sleep.
Hold on.
You're drunk. Go home, Vorn. You're drunk.
drunk.
I am
That's it.
the. Hold on. The human side of me is drunk. The orc side of me is not drunk.
Mhm.
What? I'm
He's
not
only-
sure that's
he's only
how that
half
works.
drunk.
Yeah, I'm not sure that is how it works.
Tell you what, Vaughn, we'll wake you up for second shift, and if you're still drunk then, we'll just put you right back to sleep. How's that
Yeah.
sound?
And I put my hand on Tira's forearm. I'm like, look real close, and I pull my goggles up, and I'm like,
Mm.
promise.
It does he look super drunk in the eyes?
Constitution. I rolled.
No,
well.
he rolled.
Yeah, you did roll well.
He rolled really well.
I kind of look at him.
I
Tira knows
would
a drunk
say.
person
I
when
would
she
say
sees him.
he's holding his alcohol really
Okay.
well.
Mizya kind of
Yeah.
pushes back in their chair. Yes, you talk about watch. I don't need sleep like you need sleep. So wake me up in a few hours, and I will take your watch for
I
you.
turn
Keep
to
an
Vorn,
eye.
and I kind of slap Vorn on the cheek. I'm like, well, then you two can be partners. I'm sure you get along famously.
Oh, it'll be a normal orc frat party. Lean back and put my cool goggles back on.
Do I notice that Vorn had been crying? Or his eyes still pink?
I don't know. Roll an insight check.
10.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Are you all just pushing your chairs back and planning to sleep for 8 hours in this dining room?
Yeah, we were gonna look for a place to sleep. I think.
How
Somewhere a
long
little
have we
bit-
been here? Is it like I mean, what
so-
time of day is it? I guess so.
Well, it was getting to be midday when you left the Pillars of Pedagogy. It was, say, maybe like 11:30 in the morning. You've probably been in the mansion for less than 2 hours, so it's
So it's mid-afternoon.
Well,
Yeah.
then, never mind.
it's mid-afternoon.
Sorry, I was thinking like we've been here like 8.
That's what I thought.
No,
as
you guys
well. I
walked in,
apologize.
started looking at stuff, and within a
Got in a
half
fight and burned the
hour,
library down. It feels
Yeah.
like it's been a day.
within a
Yeah.
half hour, you got
been a
into a
big-
fight, burned the library down, and then you spent more time in this dining room than you had previously in the entire mansion.
It's been a big 2 hours.
It has been.
Well, how
Well,
long-
you needed your
how long-
lunch.
How long was the
So-
gate? How long did we take to get into the gate, though, and get into the library itself?
We
Maybe a
left there
half
about
hour.
midday, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're midday.
Yeah, it didn't take you long at
So,
all.
All
What?
of a sudden, I'm not feeling so tired. Maybe we wait until they take this long rest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even need a nap.
I mean,
I'm fine.
so far, since you've been in this Morton Keenan's magnificent mansion, you've seen a library, an exercise room, a study, a kitchen, a dining room, and a garden, and stairs leading both up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Take from that what you will. There has been also mention of a cellar. It's possible this place has bedrooms or other places that might be a bit more comfortable than a dining room, but
That's a
How's
good point.
everybody feeling?
All
I mean,
right.
I'm a little tired, but I'd like to sleep on a bed if there is one. Maybe we should go upstairs, take a peek around.
Sounds good.
Sure. Sounds
Probably
fair.
shouldn't split. So
Yeah, let's all stay in one big group this time.
probably a good idea.
But it worked so well the last time.
Doc, I agree with you, but yeah.
I guess and keep your eyes out if you see any more of those books with the single letters on them.
Yeah, good call. That's smart. Well, and then Teera does like the Midwest goodbye, where she like slaps her left thighs and is like, "Well, I guess better be hitting the old dusty trail, everybody, up." And then she pounds what's left of her wine and starts to head. I start to head towards the door.
All right.
I'm going to give you all another domain tome as we just got raided by Goblin Katie. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, Goblin Katie, welcome, welcome, bienvenue.
It's my best
Welcome.
friend.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Don't leave. It's not that creepy.
Yes.
As you all
Welcome to the stream.
as you all begin to well, does everybody follows Tira's lead, I should say, as Teera
Sure.
pushes away. So you all get up, you push away from the chairs. Mizya, as you push back from the table, you had already sort of sat back, you push back from the table and you go to stand up, and as you put your hands down on the arms of the chair, you stand up about 6 inches and you're pulled back into the chair. And as you lift your hands off of the arms of the chair, you see that the wood appears to be stuck to your hands as you go to lift it up. And the rest of you, as Mizya is sort of, you see them starting to like pull their hands up, and you watch as the back of the chair seems to elongate, and you see 2 reddish orange eyes and a mouth begin to form as the chair begins to attack. And when we get back from break, we will roll for initiative.
No, it's a mimic! It's a mimic!
Remember when I had you roll a d6? This was your doing. I had you roll a d6. You rolled the chair you're sitting in.
Oh,
Hey.
no. What was the D8 you made me roll then?
Oh,
Yeah.
I had you guys rolling to see what food
Hey, Jake.
Oh.
came out. Yeah.
Fed the mimics.
Well,
Amazing.
they're hungry again.
It's an IKEA.
All right.
It's an IKEA!
Well,
It's the IKEA. Brilliant.
thank you to everybody who's tuned in so far, and to all of the wonderful new raiders. Please do stick around. We will be back in just 10 minutes with a mimic fight. So we will be back in just a few minutes. And we're back. I would like you all to roll for initiative. And I guess I should probably roll for initiative as well.
Always blow it with initiative.
That's a 6.
All right, hold on.
Are you gonna call us out?
Yeah, I'll call you out because I'm using the encounter builder.
Okay.
Why aren't the dice?
My
Is something
battle
wrong
goggles on
Is
here.
something wrong with the D&D Beyond
Gotta-
dice roller?
Change your battle goggles.
The D&D Beyond dice roller is not working. Okay.
I got a. Mine
on,
shows
hang on.
11.
Yeah, hang on. He has a. He's gonna call us out.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. All right, so that's. All right, Assyria,
17.
Ooh.
Mizya,
6.
Teera,
14.
Doc,
12.
Vorn.
11.
All right. And just for reference, this room that you are in, this dining hall, it's 15 feet wide. It's 20 feet long. You have the center is filled full of this big table. There's the chairs all around. The east wall is all glass with the arboretum on the other side, and then you've got the doors to the west and the south. As you all see, as Mizya goes to stand up and is struggling, and you see this figure the chair begin to transform into this otherworldly creature. Assyria, what do you do?
Immediately, she's going to pull out her longbow and notch an arrow. And she's going to try and aim for... You said this thing had, like, red eyes that appeared?
Yep.
All right, she's going to aim a shot at the
Nice.
eye to the right.
Nice.
Try and hit it. Yep, I think that'll work. That's a 9.
A 9?
Yeah, it's a 9. She rolled.
Mizya, you hear "Soom" past your head, and right behind you in the wall, you hear "Krrrr" as this arrow strikes the wall behind you, missing. Thankfully, you
I'm so sorry.
and the mimic. Soren gets to go on your turn, or plus if you have any bonus actions.
So Soren is gonna move forward and kind of go for one of the legs of the chair. He's gonna bite at it. That should work. That is going to be for the bite. That is going to be a 18 to hit.
Oh, that is gonna hit.
Awesome. That is gonna be that is gonna be 6 points of damage as he's going for the I would say the front right leg, trying to rip it out from the chair. Completely.
All right, so Soren grabs hold of this thing and begins biting into it. And you hear Soren as he's biting into it and sort of plants his feet and starts to pull away. You hear this as a kind of whimper. As he goes to pull away, the leg seems to be these strands adhering to him as his mouth is stuck. And Soren is grappled by the mouth.
Oh my god.
You hear just Asteria yell enraged. But that's all she can do right now.
Teera.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, I would like to rage. And
What does it look like? What does it look like as you go into a rage?
Well, Teera doesn't care about Mizya, but she cares a lot about Soren. And she and so she just like sees that Soren, as soon as she like hears that like whimper, it's like that scene in Kill Bill where the sirens start to go. And then she just like takes her greatsword off of her back, leaps up onto the table, runs across, and tries to get this thing in its other eye. So I would like to attack. I assume I'm close enough.
Yeah, absolutely. You come, just sort of step up off of the chair, up onto the table. Wine glasses and dishes are going flying, shattering as you charge across with your greatsword, you said?
Correct. I only got... Now, when I'm raging, I apologize, I go back and forth between 5e and Pathfinder. Do I get advantage on attacks, or what
Only if
happens?
you attack recklessly.
I think I would like to attack recklessly, please.
You can do that.
Hell
Okay,
yes.
yeah, because I'm gonna frickin' need to. 17 to hit.
That's going to hit.
Amazing.
As Mizya, you see Teera come charging towards you in a rage with this greatsword. Was it a greatsword or longsword? I keep forgetting.
Great sword.
Yeah, just this massive sword and swinging down apparently towards you, Mizya.
It's 11 points of damage.
As this thing suddenly just narrowly missing your shoulder cuts into the creature.
Nice.
And as you go to draw your sword back, these long strands are sticking to it. And your sword is now embedded in the mimic and adhered to it.
I am furious. Great. Okay. Am I still like tug-of-warring with it, or does it pull out of my hands?
No, you can hold on to it. It's just
Okay, it's stuck.
Yeah, it's stuck to it. It's not pulling it. All right, so that's your action bonus action.
Yep, that's it. I'm done.
Level 1. Doc.
Very brief.
Doc is going to look at Soren stuck to the leg of the chair. He's going to look at the great sword also stuck to the chair. And then he's going to look at Mizya also stuck to the chair. Then he's going to look down at himself. He's going to walk over to the chair. He's going to grab Mizya under the arms and is going to attempt to grapple Mizya away from the chair.
Nice.
Okay.
He is going to spend a domain tome. Now, thankfully, all of those domain tomes were not contributed by Hawkmere, so I can use some of them. And I'm going to roll my grapple check with advantage, please.
Okay, so that's only one domain tome to roll with advantage.
So Doc is just using his massive frame to pick Mizya up, put them down on the other side of the mimic.
Okay.
Just Jake, not to interrupt, I apologize. I actually would have done 2 more damage to the thing because I was
because your rage bonus?
My bad. My bad. Yep.
Yep, no worries.
So it would have been 15 instead of 30. Sorry. What did I say?
You
before?
said 16, so it'd be 18.
18. Hashtag math. I'm off the clock. It's summer vacation.
I was going to say, aren't you a math teacher?
Listen, get off my case, Dad. Sorry. I did my homework.
That just got too real for me.
All right, Doc, how's that strength athletics check working for you?
17.
You just reach in, get your hands up under Mizya's arms. Teera is above you, towering with the sword sort of stuck in this mimic. It's oozing this purple ichor. On the other side, Soren's stuck, and Nasiri is pissed, and Vorn's still in the process of probably switching his goggles out. As you just come in there, and you get a hold of Mizya, and unceremoniously just and pull her up out of this chair. You see the strands pulling, and then they just... And already the seat of the chair looks to be forming these teeth as it was turning into a mouth. But you have freed Mizya.
Yay!
Okay, so as a part of the grapple, I can move up to half my speed. So I'm now carrying Mizya firefighter style, kind of like a baby. And I will move half my speed, and I will gently deposit Mizya on a chair at the table, not before pulling it out for them slightly.
Oh.
Oh. All right, well, thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
I'm just picturing.
They do
What's that song
exist,
from The
ladies.
Bodyguard?
And that one.
Excellent.
Love it.
All right. I believe, unless you have any bonus actions, I believe that's the end of your turn.
I do not.
Vorn, it is your turn.
Unmuted. So you said there's a mouth that appears, is that right?
Yes, the seat of the chair, and so it had this sort of red satin cushion, or not satin, red velvet cushions, and a red velvet back cushion. And you see teeth are starting to form out of that as that red is turning into the interior of the mimic.
Okay. I am going to pull out my longsword and I'm going to kind of leap, jump, and dive with my longsword pointed towards the interior of the mouth of this creature, almost to stab it in the mouth.
Excellent.
Let's see. So let's roll. Long pause as I do it.
Let's roll numbers.
Let's-
Then do some math.
Is it going to be agility?
There's no
Oh,
pressure.
Numbers.
No, you roll a d20 and add whatever your weapon attack modifier is.
Gotcha.
If you're using the dice roller on your character sheet, you can just click on whatever that plus is next to the weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and it will roll that weapon for you.
Gotcha. That's a 16.
Nice.
Is that just the straight die roll?
That's just a straight die roll. 'Cause I wanted to move the game forward. So
So what's your? I guess it doesn't matter
It ain't negative.
because that's gonna hit. So
it's gonna hit.
yeah. So you are able to do that. Go ahead and roll your damage. You're using two-handed, you said.
Yeah, and I'm gonna swap out. I'm sorry, I don't even have a longsword. I have a glaive and a great axe, so we're gonna use the great axe. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Sorry, man.
He was so drunk he thought he had a long sword.
I'm gonna kill you with my longsword. It's the glaive. That's
Yeah.
fine.
It's the
It's
glaive.
pointy. It'll work.
All right, yeah.
It'll
So
work.
roll for the great axe.
All right.
Slashing damage is slashing damage. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I rolled a really strong Constitution, so we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's fine.
We're
He's
good.
fine. This is all just
Sure.
headcanon. We think he's drunk. He's not.
No. I'm gonna call that a 19.
That's an attack roll. That's not a damage
Attack
roll.
Sorry.
There should be where you're on your character sheet where it has your what you just rolled a strength check where your weapon is under your attacks. So for your great axe, it should have a number of dice that are the damage.
It's right here, my man. Oh God, so
Yep.
washed
Oh
out.
boy, that
Sorry.
was washed out. That was.
that was terrible.
You're on
yeah,
D&D
it's
Beyond.
right here. Here you go. Easy peasy.
He's on D&D Beyond anyway.
Yeah, duh.
All right, so I got the great axe here.
Oops.
I see.
That doesn't help at all.
For some reason, I forgot how to play this game. All right, wait.
Sorry.
I got it. I'm back. Got my feet under me. Let's go. 13. We're good. Sorry, I figured it out.
You got it, bro.
Hold on, something just went weird. No. Ugh.
Did I kill it?
No, I'm navigated away from my encounter builder where I'm tracking the encounter.
Mhm.
And when I navigated back to it, all that's here is a single die and it's a black screen.
Oh no.
So I have to reset. Of course, it lost all the initiative. So let me just switch over here to paper real quick.
I went right after Assyria.
It was Assyria.
17.
It was Teera. Then it was Doc. Then it was Vorn.
And
Then the
grappled
Mimic.
ass Mizya.
Then Mizya. And then you did how many points of damage to it?
13.
Okay, I'm back up to speed.
Hurrah!
Sorry. I lose
You're
my
good.
feet, the whole ship sinks. We're go.
Yeah.
Now I think something's going on with D&D Beyond because I was struggling with even getting the thing to roll properly.
Yeah.
So it is. I do need access to my monster though. Where's my monster? Oh, it like wiped out my. Oh, there it is. There we go. So, Vorn, as you slam your great axe into its mouth, you are also stuck. Your great axe is sticking to the interior of this thing.
Exactly where I want it to be.
So there's now a wolf dog, a half orc,
It's
and a
wolf.
human are all stuck to this thing. Let's
What
see.
was that game? Katamari Damacy?
Yeah.
Is that what was that? It's like that.
So it's going to attack. Well, since you shoved your axe in its mouth, it's going to attempt to bite you, Vorn.
Perfect.
Uh-oh.
But with an 8, the teeth come down, not quite fully formed, and it basically is gumming the handle of the axe. And it can't, because you're basically shoving your axe down its throat, it can't get a good bite on you. That is going to take us to Mizya.
So Mizya just kind of is sitting in this chair now, completely like just barely able to get their wits together after being almost eaten by a chair and then yanked out of said chair by a giant undead man.
Charming,
and-
chivalrous zombie.
Right. But Mizya stands up and kind of dusts off their robes and just points this shaky hand at the mimic, and you hear this bell ring out through the room, kind of shakes the windows a little bit, and I cast Toll the Dead. So
That is
you to make a Wisdom saving throw DC 12.
Just D&D Beyond dice. That's a 5. So
Oh.
it has obviously it has lost hit points, so it will be a D12.
Oh, okay, a D12.
Yeah, if it's lost hit points, you get to roll a D12
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah, I remember that now. It sucks because I just rolled a 7. This better be. Let's see here. 6. I'll take that.
All right. What does this look like? This toll the bell when you see the mimic affected by it.
I think again, Mitch's hand is kind of shaking, and it's almost like if you think that it's because of some sort of palsy or something, because Mitch is so very old.
So
But you notice that as this bell kind of tolls through the room, the resonance of that bell kind of matches with Mish's shaking hand, and these waves kind of ripple off the windows and just ripple through this mimic.
And I picture, as we sort of cinema style, we see the shaking hand and this sonorous bell chimes. We follow across the table as whatever wine glasses Teera didn't knock over, and then it hits the mimic as the chiming just shatters all these delicate wine glasses.
Yes.
And you see it sort of recoil a bit. And yeah. That's going to take us to the top of the order. Assyria.
Yeah.
Syria
She's-
has 3 seconds of social anxiety, and then with the remaining 3 seconds, she attacks. Sorry, called out. Hashtag called out.
What was that? Did I just take necrotic damage on top of that? Okay, Soren's in trouble. And his thing still is like sticking to whatever is hitting it, correct?
Yeah, right now Soren's still stuck to it. Vorn is stuck to it. Vorn's axe is stuck to it, and Teera's greatsword is also stuck to it, but they are not. Soren's the only living creature actually stuck to it.
Oh, Bubba's.
All right. I am going to kind of quickly lean into where Soren is stuck and she's gonna pull out what appears to be a small pocket knife, and she's gonna try and cut the area around where Soren is bitten. She's more concerned about him right now, so she is just literally like holding him, trying to calm him down, and she's gonna cut around where his mouth is, being very careful not to cut him. She's literally just trying to drag the knife down in a circular motion to kind of separate the two of them.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. Natural 20. Yes!
All right.
Yes!
Excellent.
Screw this thing.
Natural
Screw
20.
you, Mimic.
Thank you.
What?
Fantastic.
Oh my god.
All right, so the way I do natural 20s in my games is that is automatic max damage, including all your modifiers and everything. Then you roll your d20, you roll your damage die one more time.
All right.
Ooh,
Any
ooh.
damage dice.
Awesome.
Add that all together, and because it's a crit, you will succeed in pulling Soren free, and you will do whatever damage you do. As apparently in chair form, all of its major arteries are in this one leg of this chair.
It's gonna be
All right,
gross.
buddy.
Mimics are great at copying things. They are not good at anatomy.
No.
Very
Um,
bad.
It's not a lot. It's 8 damage. But she is literally just gonna like kind of scratch behind his ears as she's holding him steady and cutting down around his mouth and be like, "All right, buddy. Remember when you used to chew on the furniture?" And she
He looks up at you with sad but accepting eyes.
You notice as you sort of cut away from this, just deftly carving your knife in and severing it, that whatever was adhered to Soren's mouth instantly just turns to this sort of purplish goo once it's separated. All right, Soren's free.
Bonus action, she's gonna give some pocket bacon to Soren to get that
Oh.
black goo out of his mouth.
That was very
All right.
kind.
Is Soren gonna do anything?
He will actually kind of move so that way he's kind of flanking behind the chair to give Teera a little bit so this thing is more centered in Tira's direction. Basically, there's no way out. Asteria's blocking one way, Soren's blocking the other, so it's
Yep.
Teera
Yep.
trying to force it in.
All right, Soren can get up by the wall, but not behind it because the chair
Okay.
was sort of pushed back against the wall.
Yep, it would just be to the side.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. And that's it for
So-
he's just going to be at the ready. He is probably a little bit afraid to actually attack it, so
Yeah.
he's just got his haunches
Sure.
all raised and growling at it.
All right, Teera, it's your turn.
Okay.
You will need to spend an action to attempt to free your weapon, if that's
Yep.
what you want to do.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay. So how is that a strength check?
that's going to be strength athletics as you attempt to free your greatsword from this creature.
Okay. Because I am still raging, of course, I do gain advantage on strength checks.
Yes, you do.
So here I go. Ooh, that's already real good, guys. That's a 21 strength check.
So you just heave on your greatsword, and there's this arc of this purple ichor that just goes.
Yes.
Make me a quick. You know what? I think with you being raging, I don't think you would even notice this. So not only does it arc as you do this, the strength with which you pulled your greatsword, there's a tremendous as your greatsword swings into that chandelier because you're standing on the table.
Oh, of course.
And pieces of crystal just come raining down all around you.
Oh, that is so badass. Teera, look at this is a rock video right now. All flexed up and crazy. Awesome.
All right, so that's your action.
Okay. Can I still attack or no?
That was your action, so at level 1, you don't have any other way to attack.
Okay.
Level
And
one.
I'm done.
Level
Level
one.
All right.
1. Then I'm done. I'm standing there like a badass
Doc.
and showering crystal.
Doc is sort of gonna look around. He's gonna look down at the chair.
Because Doc and Mizya are still in that slow motion scene, the crystal's falling in slow motion, and there's like starlight reflecting off of each one. It's like that one TikTok filter where everything's
Yes, where
glowing.
it's like, yes, dude. We are on the same page, and I love it.
Okay,
What are you doing,
I
Doc?
did my slow motion hair twirl. So Doc is looking at the chair. He's looking at the chair that Mizya is sitting on. He's gonna pick up one of the other chairs that are seated at the table. He's gonna walk toward the mimic, and he's going to use the chair to shove the mimic prone,
Nice.
using his attack action to shove. And I would like to use another one of our fabulous fans' non-Hawkmere domain tomes to get it in.
All right, so you're going to make a shove action at advantage.
Oh, mother trucker. Was not so good.
All right. I got an 18.
I got a 7.
Oh.
So you go to shove down with this chair, and in that moment, the mimic just, as you're pressing down, you feel that it's pushing down, and then you realize you're just pressing into the mimic, and you watch as this chair you're holding is half absorbed and half just as it just starts chomping on this chair. As the pieces are breaking, they seem to just absorb into its form.
It's like Pac-Man, bro.
He's gonna look back at his friends, and he's gonna say, "I need a new chair."
Amazing.
Vorn,
Amazing, dude.
you also have your axis stuck to this thing.
I happily let it go because I'm ready to do unarmed combat. So the thing has eyes, right?
It does.
I immediately. How big are the eyes in relation to the chair?
I would say they're probably softball sized.
Okay. I immediately do like a 4 and the strongest finger I can make, and I'm going to try to grab both of his eyes, jab both of my hands into the eyes of the object using
Alright.
unarmed combat.
Go ahead and make an unarmed strike.
So should I do so I have 2 things on my D&D chart. Should I do left and right hand? Are both of those an attack?
No, it's
or is it just
essentially going to be just one attack.
one? Okay.
the
And then the
dual-
damage.
Mhm.
The duel is flavor. I wanna check something real quick with
Okay.
yours. Your yeah, because unarmed strikes do not let you dual attack.
Okay.
Good idea, though. Good idea, though,
but-
bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can basically if you click that +5, that'll roll your attack.
Oh my goodness. There we go. 19.
No, 19. Yeah, that definitely hits.
19.
So yeah, you drive your hands in to its eyes. So you can go ahead and roll the
As my fingers kind of go into the eyeball sockets, can I feel like how deep do they penetrate into the eyeball?
I mean, you're
second knuckle at least.
yeah, I'm gonna say you're going probably a couple knuckles deep into this thing because it's a weird consistency that this thing is. Go ahead and roll the 1d8 +3.
Slamming your hand into like hamburger.
Yeah. 7 points of damage, I believe. I did. Yeah, I got a 7.
Nice. That's about right.
So you do manage to jam your hands into its eyes like that, and now your hands are stuck in its eyes.
Oh,
Great. I can't wait till my next turn.
oh, you're just gonna like open your hand.
Yeah. I'm gonna
So it
go
is.
strength check as hard as. Can I roll a domain die to open up my hands and kind of pull a strength check on that?
Well, that would be an extra action, so you can't do that.
Okay. Level
Um,
1. Level 1.
Level 1. You do have or rather you are grappled by it, so It gets advantage on its attack against you. Yeah, so you've sort of jammed your hands into where its eyes are, and they're suddenly stuck. And you can see and feel these eyes sort of looking around your hands at you. And the brow seems to sort of furrow where the back of that chair is. And then it just sort of goes and rises up about 3 feet. And this pseudopod just goes wham down on top of you with advantage.
Side note, Jake, good on you for using the word pseudopod.
Mhm.
My biology major appreciates you.
That is an 18 to hit you, Vorn.
Oh, I am fatality.
Okay.
No,
hits.
not damage,
Let's-
not
yeah,
damage.
let's-
No,
Oh
that
my
was
god, don't scare me.
No.
I was like,
No.
What?
But
We
definitely
were
hits.
just getting into character development.
as it comes down and slams into you, you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh boy,
Okay, that'll
good with that.
hurt.
that's problematic.
You see stars when it hits you.
Why hold on? Can I hold on to the eyes though?
Well, you're stuck to it, so yeah, you're not letting go.
Perfect. That's fine. That's great.
Yes,
I'm good
and
with
you don't
this
have a choice in the
outcome.
matter.
Yeah, let's go. All right,
So,
cool.
Mizya, this thing is messing up Vorn.
Oof. Brutal.
So Mizya's still just standing at the other end of this table at this point, just continuing to point this shaky hand, and you hear the bell ring again. So that's another wisdom saving throw, please, DC 12.
That is a natural 20.
I'm gonna make you re-roll that, please.
That's going to cost you 5 domain tomes.
That's
Good.
fine.
So I'm going to fix this real quick as you have used the first
Well done.
DM re-roll 5 tomes. So I will re-roll that wisdom saving throw and critically fail. Oh no! Wait! No, it's a 7. I still failed. It's a 7, not a 1, but I did fail.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
So
Close enough.
that's gonna be 1d12.
That's a 10.
Mizya, how do you end the mimic?
Yes! What now?
Vorn is standing there with his hands deep inside the eye sockets of this mimic, and he feels this resonance behind him, and it kind of builds into this jelly that he's got his hands stuck in, and it just gets more and more and more intense, and then he just hears this. And he's now covered in ichor and goo. It's in his eyes and his mouth and his ears. It's just, well, there we go. It's not in his eyes.
Thank you.
Not in his eyes.
Definitely got in his nose.
Tell me
No,
there's the
but-
moment where he pulls up his goggles and there's just the absence.
Yeah, just the
Right.
yeah. Pull it up. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's not
Mizya
just
kind of
Vorn.
just-
It's everybody but you was next to this thing.
Yeah.
well, this was
Everybody's just dripping.
invigorating. I've not had a chance to fight before. I've put all these spells into practice, and it's quite fun.
Oh my god, does Mizya seem happy?
Oh, completely. Like there's not a smile, but it's as close as Mizya can get to smiling.
And is
Oh.
Mizya
There's this little like,
clean?
completely clean. Like,
Oh yeah.
They were
like-
far enough away?
Mhm.
Oh my
So-
god.
As this happens, Mizya, you hear to the left, that door to the kitchen opens up. It sort of, the door kind of swings back and forth, and it just sort of, you hear this sound of the swinging door swinging back and forth, and you see one of the two homunculi as it sort of flittered into the room, and it goes, before you leave, and from, you see, as it's sort of hovering about 3 feet in the air, you see something drop seemingly from behind it or below it, is it just goes splat onto the floor. And then from behind it, the other homunculi appears and it goes, "Oh dear, I've dropped the pudding."
Teera turns like slow Stewie Griffin head turn and is just like, "You two didn't know anything about that, right? A mimic in the chair."
A mimic?
Yeah, a mimic.
Oh dear, no! I promise you, we knew nothing of this. It must have escaped from Festundia's collection.
Doc.
Insight check.
Go for it.
All right. That is. Where's my insight? There it is. 17.
They seem to be believe what they're saying. They genuinely seem frightened of what they've seen. Good lord. Trying to look up the homunculus stats and it's autocorrecting to human.
Human stats unlocked.
There you go. Yeah, they both seem pretty shocked by this and are very much yes, this should not have been here. Wait. 1, 2.
What?
The number of chairs.
What?
Well, there's 5 chairs. Okay, well, that would account for the mimic then. Where did the other chair go?
Well, and I kind of look uncomfortably over at Doc, and I just go, and I'm like, we don't know. I guess there never was another chair. You probably just miscounted. You
I
said there was.
accidentally fed it to the mimic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, well, that would mean there were 7 chairs in here. Oh dear. Yes, and the mimic must have escaped.
Oh.
Well,
Escape
now,
from where exactly?
well, Festundia has laboratories and study chambers in the upper levels of the mansion. Festundia has been studying a variety of creatures for quite some time.
Are there bards in the upper part of the mansion? You mentioned there being bards and the ability to cooking and cleaning. Cleaning?
Did you
If I
say
could use a bath.
bath?
Bath.
Bath.
Did you say bards?
What is
A
it?
bath!
No.
A bath! A bath!
Oh,
Bath!
I thought you said bards.
I didn't! I said a bath, which I need desperately. I don't need a bard.
I don't believe there is such a thing as a bath.
Is there a spot where we can get cleaned off? We got mimic guts all over us. And I look around at everybody and I give a
Festundia-
dirty look to Mizya.
Festundia and Freyot used their magic to prestidigitate their dirty away from them.
Teera like rolls her eyes and jumps down off of the table and is just
While-
grumbling about magic.
While Teera is having fit, I cast prestidigitation on each of them.
Aw.
It'll
Um,
I'm very discreet about it. Like I'm like they're all facing away, and I kind of just do it in the background.
so
Doc would like to ask everyone to stand aside because he's gonna cast a spell, and he's gonna take some iron filings out of a pouch, and he's gonna get some powder. And he's gonna blow it on the mimic, and he's gonna try and mend it.
What?
Oh,
What?
God.
Don't! What are you doing? No.
Are
Okay.
there-
None of us know what's happening.
Roll me an Arcana check. Add your instead of your Arcana. So what is Arcana's intelligence? Yeah.
Yep.
So roll intelligence, but add your spellcasting modifier to that.
13.
Okay. So as you're doing this, and these iron filings sort of fall down into where this mimic goo is, over the course of the next 60 seconds,
No.
you watch as parts of the goo begin to shift, and you see rising up out of it broken pieces of chair, and after about a minute, what you have managed to do is create from the remnants of the broken chair a dark oak stained, or an oak dark a dark stained oak footstool with a red velvet cushion, but instead of buttons, crystals from the chandelier are embedded in it.
Oh.
You've not succeeded in mending the mimic because you can see the goo and the ichor lying on the ground, but from the fragments of the chair, you have somehow managed to sort of create the pieces into this footstool that matches the other chairs.
So Doc is going to see what he's created and recognize its beauty, but he looks a little bit sad, like he didn't succeed in his goal. So he's gonna sigh, and he's gonna take out a flower, and he's gonna give it to the mimics. Goo.
That's a different flower.
Oh.
So you just
How many of those do you have?
you place this flower down in the goo, and it seems to sit there for a moment and then just sort of partially submerge into this ichor.
I'm sorry, my friends killed you.
Do we hear that? Do we hear him say that?
Unless you're trying to be quiet, I think everybody hears it.
Doc, I go up behind him and I pat him on the shoulder. I'm like, your value for the sanctity of all life is charming and everything, but that thing tried to eat the drow. Tried to kill the rest of us. It hurt Soren.
Well,
Why are you sorry we killed it?
Well, I mean, technically it didn't eat the drow. It just stuck to them.
But it was trying to.
It
eat
was
him.
gonna eat. It was gonna eat him. What?
You can't say that for sure.
Well, I guess it
I'm
could-
pretty sure it was going to eat me.
Yeah.
I raise my hand over at Cumin and Coriander. I'm like, can I get another like satchel of wine here?
I need to forget about
As I
this.
still have, and I'm still trying to like absorb this situation.
There's
I don't have my blood axe anymore, right? It's gone forever, right?
no,
Oh,
your
sorry,
axe
I don't have an axe.
your axe is laying on the ground.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
I kind of walk over, pick it up, look over at the stool, and I still like, hey, I'm gonna need another couple of
So-
wine here.
First of all, everybody roll me perception except for Mizya. And Vorn,
Nat
this
20.
this one of the two homunculi just sort of through the kitchen, comes back with a bottle of wine, flies over to you and just sort of looks around the table at all of the broken glasses and just sort of goes and sets the bottle down in front of you, since there's no glasses to pour it into.
I kind of pick up the bottle and I say a toast to teamwork.
So as you toast, Teera, you notice with that apparently natural 20,
Natural 20!
so 20 plus whatever your perception is, you notice
Which is 23.
you notice that
Jordan.
none of you are covered in mimic ichor anymore.
So Teera has kind of been like wiping off, and then all of a sudden notices, like, with one, that there's nothing on her hand, and then sort of, like, looks down at herself and is just like, the hell happened? And I just kind of, like, looks around and is like, and notices slowly that everybody else is clean.
Yep.
And just doesn't really understand, and looks over at Mizya, who has been clean this whole time. Is Mizya, like, taking ownership over this or not?
Mizya, make a stealth check.
Yeah. I mean, like, we got one freaking magic
11.
person in this crew.
You were all preoccupied while Mizya cast this, but Mizya's just sitting there on the other side of the table. They were clean all along.
Oi! Drow, did you get us all clean?
Did I?
Did you clean us? Yeah, did you give us a bath?
Why would I give you a bath?
I mean, I don't know.
And I like demonstrably sit down and like pull my book out and start reading again.
Well, listen,
forcibly ignoring.
if it was you, I just wanted to say thank you.
Doc is going to look inside his pouch and he's going to say, maybe it was me.
Doc, how would it have been you? Do you do that? Do you do things? Crazy magic secret things?
I can't say for sure it wasn't me.
Well, and I go over and I pat Doc on the shoulder, and Teera's stupid. She doesn't understand any of this. She pats him on the shoulder and be like, yeah, I bet it was you. And kind of like looks over at Mizya, still like a little unsure. Really doubting, though, that this Mizya was responsible for this.
I think as you're over there patting Doc on the shoulder, Mizya just kind of under their breath. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm sure Teera does not hear that.
I would like to speak to your manager.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime.
Well, so we need to keep looking around here, right?
Yeah, we gotta find the books, the ever important books, so we can all read.
Hey,
like nerds.
Vorn, roll me a d20.
Uh-oh.
Natural.
Yeah, this is never good.
Uh-oh, this is... Yeah, deciding...
Oh no. Oh no.
No.
Since we're TikTok night tonight, it's TikTok night tonight here at
Natural
Scribes and Scrolls.
20.
Natural 20?
Natural 20.
Okay.
What?
Why
So
do you
Vorn,
assume that's good?
right?
Oh, that's a good point.
That's how it goes.
Vorn, you took a pretty nasty lump on the head from this thing.
Yeah, second one of the day.
And you are bleeding profusely from a head wound.
Mhm.
And where it struck you, it struck hard enough that it actually tore the skin, because it was bludgeoning damage, but it tore the skin. So, and, you know, head wounds, you're just bleeding down into your eyes.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you do get healed, whether through whatever means, for now, this is bad enough that you are going to have a minor scar. And it's going to be sort of a jagged, just a couple centimeters through your hairline. Well, if you had hair.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
kind of up, like where the curve of the forehead sort of turns into the head proper. So yeah, up above where you have this mark on your forehead, you now, or will have a new mark there. I believe, because you didn't mark it on your character sheet, but I do believe you are only at a couple of hit points.
Yeah, I'm down to 2.
So what I did was I had you roll on lingering injuries.
Yeah.
Because we did talk about how there will be brutal wounds and lingering injuries and stuff.
Sure. I look over at Teera, seeing the blood to my as it crosses over across my goggles, and actually my goggles are up at this point, so it's kind of bleeding into my eyes.
Mhm.
And as I have the bottle of wine, I go,
Oh.
a little bit of redemption, huh? Maybe a
Oi, oh,
beginning.
oh. And
Now look-
I like go over there. I'm like, oi, Vaughn, come here. And I like Teera like puts her hand up like right under his chin. How tall is Vaughn?
I'm like 6 foot,
Yeah, so
just
Teera's
barely.
tall.
Yeah, you're
Tira's
taller
taller than Vorn, and like puts her hand up under his chin and is like turning his head a little bit so she can like see it, and is like, "Oi, that's not good, brother." And like looks over at Doc, and is like, "Is there anything you can do, Doc? You fixed him up once, or you fixed
Doc.
me up once."
Doc is gonna reach into his pouch. He's gonna take some moss. And he's gonna chew it up, and then he's gonna go into a different pouch, and he's gonna get the black powder. He's gonna sprinkle it into the moss. He's gonna shush it up together, and he's gonna rub it on Vorn's face.
As Doc is mixing the thing up, Teera leans to Vorn and is like, "This is gonna be a little bit gross, but you'll feel 100 times better when it's done. I promise."
He's gonna rub it on Vorn's face.
And I go, as a tear, I go, it's not as bad as org loogies.
I heard something else for a minute.
Listen, no.
I'm dizzy. I'm
He's concussed. He's concussed.
Doc is gonna sort of look at Vorn, and he's gonna look at the blood from Vorn's head, and he's gonna look at his pouch and say, "Why didn't that work?"
Did you not cast a spell?
Oh my god, he just chewed up the frickin' moss. He's out of spells for the day. We haven't rested.
I'll be sunning her ass.
and I kind of like have like this paste of
Yeah.
goo on my face, and I'm like, it's okay. And I kind of try to stable myself on the table, and as I try to stable myself, I just kind of fall down to the floor.
Oh jeez.
I
Doc.
promise that usually works.
Doc, make a medicine roll. Let's see if you accidentally do
God.
something here.
Right. At least it's
Six.
No,
It's okay.
Yes.
Vorn, you've got a bacterial infection, a staph
no.
infection.
No.
You've got
no.
1d4 days before you die. I'm just kidding.
That'd be
That's
a
fine.
nat
I
one
will do it. Let's go.
at worst. Does Vorn pass out?
I
Roll
think
Constitution. I can roll Constitution.
I think
if you'd like.
between sure, yeah, roll Constitution. Because between the wine and that was a solid. I mean, that's a concussive blow.
I got 20.
Oh.
You're holding your consciousness. You just, I think the only reason you fell is you reached for a chair that wasn't there. It was probably the one that
Okay.
Doc
Oh,
took.
yeah. Right.
And you go back reaching for this chair, and you basically just sort of fall. There's sort of this hollow, almost gong sound, just dong, as you fall back against the large glass window wall that looks out over this arboretum. And Vorn is just sort of sitting there on the floor. The poultice seems to, while not have healed him, at least stopped the bleeding. And Vorn's a little cross-eyed, and this purple light's just sort of cascading over his head and shoulders as he's sitting there dazed.
Does he still have wine?
There's a whole bottle that was set on the
Oh, absolutely.
table in front of him.
I take the wine. I put it, or I assume, I thought it was in his hand. I get it away from him in any case, and I say in Orcish, I say, "You've had enough, brother," and I take it away and I start drinking it myself. This has been traumatic.
Maybe we should revisit the idea of perhaps taking a rest.
I couldn't agree more. But again, I'd like to do it in a bed.
Right. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying.
Oi,
everything-
spice cabinet! Is there a bed anywhere in this place? And I'm yelling at Cumin and Coriander.
That took me a half a second to figure
Sorry.
That's
Here doesn't
brilliant.
remember names.
Spice cabinet.
Spice cabinet. It's the spice cabinet. Oh my gosh! Performing live from London.
As you yell that, you notice you don't see either of them coming through answering your call. To Teera, as you look back, though, you do see for a moment, as you look back towards the kitchen, you see one of them was peering through the door, and as you yell, it just sort of, and the door just goes.
Oh,
But, Vorn, you see, since you're sitting on the floor leaning against this glass, you see one of the two homunculi is landed on the floor and is actually walking towards you under the table. Its ears are sort of down. Its wings are hanging low, almost like a cape behind it. And it has a very small bowl in its hand. And you can smell a bit of a sweet aroma as it just sort of cautiously walks up to you. I mean, this thing's only like 2.5, 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
It walks up to you and says, I am terribly sorry that you got hurt. We did not know that the mimic had escaped. Whenever Fistandia had sustained bites or burns and such from her experiments, we would make her this hot rowan berry crumble. It has restorative properties. Please. And hands you this bowl that has a spoon in it. It's warm, and it's a berry crumble.
Oh my god.
I take it and I go, I bring it like, oh, that smells delicious.
Please, eat it. It will help you.
Yeah. And is there a spoon with it?
Yep.
Is there ice cream in it?
Is there ice cream? Is there coffee?
Is it a la mode?
It's a la mode. I go, yeah, and I scoop it, and I take one bite, and then I Cookie Monster the rest of it.
You, as soon as you take the first bite, you feel almost as if you had just downed another bottle of, or glass of wine. You feel this lightheadedness and this warmth spreading outward from where you took the bite, and as soon as you just start wolfing it down, you feel this warmth spread through you, and any of you that are looking at Vorn, you see the that the glassiness in his eyes seems to go away, and this poultice that Doc had applied sort of shifts and just falls away, and there's a neat little V-shaped scar right on Vorn's forehead, up above the mark of exile, and the wound has healed itself, and you have gained 10 points of healing from this healing dessert.
Wow. Immediately I'm like, you guys have to try this. I stand up like, this is amazing. Wow.
Is anybody else injured?
I kind of look confusedly at Vorn, and just like I look over at whichever spice this is, and I shake my head.
Doc is going to walk over to the non-table homunculi, and he's going to sort of look in his pack, and he's going to look over to the homunculus, and he says, if you want to be my homunculi, you have to get with my friends.
Yes, thank you, dude.
Wow.
Gary, same page. If you want to be,
I've literally been sitting for the last 5 minutes trying to think of something. I'm
I cast
so mad.
disadvantage.
you can't
Not
do
at
that.
my
You don't have that
table.
power.
If you want my
Puns
human,
are a gift.
get my pasta.
I prefer my puns intended.
Don't worry, Jordan. There's a Harry Potter pun to be made with the scar he's got
yes,
now.
there is.
So we'll compete over
Work
that
on
one.
it. Yep.
We'll workshop it.
All right. Well, this seems like a great place to end this session. As
Wow.
believe it or not, it's been 2.5 hours already.
Dinner was great, everybody.
You had a wonderful dinner, lunch, an extended lunch in which you got to get to know a little bit about each other. You learned that in my games, mimics are very sticky.
Gross.
Could have worded that better.
If we continue at this pace, we'll be finished next year.
Yeah.
One room
not
per
even-
session.
Not even close.
Not even
No,
close.
we might be halfway
even-
through the
Hey.
spice shelf, though.
Maybe.
You technically made it through 2 rooms tonight
Oh,
because you did
Oh.
walk through the kitchen. So,
Now, if this is cumin and coriander, I want to know what that mysterious imp is.
Mhm.
Is it what's that one that sometimes tastes like soap to people?
Oh, God.
Cilantro?
Cilantro.
Is it
Yeah.
bad,
Cilantro.
though? Is it bad
delicious.
getting flashback to Blue's Clues where Mrs. Salt and Mr.
Yes!
Pepper
And
little
Paprika! Not at all.
oh,
Not at all.
spi-
Well done, team.
would you call him a spice rack?
I get Oi, spice rack.
Yeah.
What's the
Oh, that
spice
got
cabinet?
me. Spice cabinet. That got me.
Yeah.
That got me.
Oh my god.
Well,
Classic.
that was fun.
That was awesome, guys.
Blast.
Wow.
I love these first level fights where a mimic can potentially take out a player.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I
do.
like that the squishy one was in the jaws of the mimic and is the only one that got out completely scot-free.
Doc
Yep.
is an effing gift to this campaign.
Yeah, he
He
is.
Oh, you're the
saved the squishy one.
You're the Whitney Houston to Doc's Kevin Costner. So
Always grapple you.
You're welcome.
fantastic. Well, that was absolutely a blast. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. We truly appreciate
fun,
you.
fun.
Thank you for those that dropped subscriptions and such for those lovely domain tomes for the players. They did burn through a few of those tonight, but
Needed 'em.
earned a couple more back. And just thank you for everybody hanging out with us. And if you are somebody that was lurking and you weren't in chat, that's okay. We appreciate you.
Mwah.
We hope you enjoyed our game. We will be back next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern with Session 4, title to be determined. I haven't come up with a clever
Nice.
title yet.
Spice rack.
And tune in on Wednesday. Nope, there will not be a Jeremy Erasmus game on Wednesday. Are Ice Holes playing tomorrow night, or is that an off week?
next week.
Next week. But Thursday, the Dawnbringers, just in our last session, they got back to the Sunblight Castle, and the castle has taken to the air and is flying across Icewind Dale now. So tune in to see the Dawnbringers on Thursday. Also on Thursday, you can catch International House of Minis over in Big Bearded Nerd. And
Very chill.
I believe we've got Let's Paint Tiny Things tomorrow, most likely. Jordan, what do you got going on?
This week tomorrow I'm participating in a part 2 of a 3-shot.
Woo.
Smitty is taking the helm up of DM. So that'll be over on the Amphitheater. And then Wednesday I will be over on my channel at 7 o'clock playing some Dead by Daylight, of course. Getting some more games in. That'll be happening on Friday as well as Saturday. And then Sunday, I'll be back with Goblin Katie for classic Brunching Crusade. We just moved into Burning Crusade. So we're doing that. And then it was announced earlier, and Robo's here, but later this month, I will be in an owlbear heist.
Yes, I saw that.
It's going to be so good. I'm so excited. So lots of fun stuff coming up. stay tuned to all my socials because that's where I post where I'm going and what I'm up to. But I'm very excited.
Cari, got anything going on this week?
Not this week. Next week I got stuff.
Phasmophobia Friday, as always, is going to be the last time I put myself through that nonsense. So
Nice.
get
That's
in
what
while
you
the getting's
say
good.
now.
All right.
You say now.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everybody. We're going to read our friends CFTRPG. They're playing
Yes.
Iskloft over on that channel. So when you holler in there, give them a good old Viking raid cry. Drop whatever emote you got. And tell them MTD sent you. So with that, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. Oh wait, I did forget to thank. Of course, I forgot to thank my awesome players. Gary, Jordan, Cari, Dwight, and Ricky, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for 3 hours. So with that, we are going to end this stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want.
Good day.